The rate of change in the higher education sector is incredible, actually. It's brought about a whole range of challenges for us as a practice. We've had to take a whole series of lessons learned on board, and that's actually provided us with an opportunity to innovate into the space that the changing needs of students have provided us.
I think one of the main aspects that we've learned recently from various projects is the importance of stakeholder engagement. And for that we need a very diverse stakeholder group that includes the Vice-Chancellor, the faculty leads, but more importantly it's also the teaching staff, their support staff and the students, because at the end of the day they're the guys and gals that will be using the building. I think getting them involved early is also very key, and it allows us to evolve the brief with them. I think it's incredibly important that they push their boundaries, their expectations to the absolute max. So the only way we're going to do that is to get them involved at an early design stage, work with them through the design process and challenge them and push them as far as they possibly can. So the result is a successful building that they're not only proud of, but they're excited to move into and teach moving forward.
As a practice, we've got really good at developing flexible and adaptable environments, understanding what the needs of our stakeholders are in that respect. And then I think now a challenge for us is to kind of create buildings that draw on the potential future opportunities of modern methods of construction. The fact that we could go and print a building, the fact that we could go and create organic components out of different types of materials, and we shouldn't just be racing to the bottom and create essentially a whole set of very standardised kits of parts that detract from the value we could really generate and offer our university environments.
I think one of the challenges that higher education institutions are looking at is obviously across their campus building stock. I think a lot of universities have a variety of different buildings from a lot of different eras. Some of it is over 100 years old and has important historical significance, not only for that university, but the city that they represent. And in some respects it's part of their culture and their brand, so it's very important to them. However, they are not necessarily adaptable for the modern teaching environment that they need to be. So I think there's clever questions to be asked on how they can use these old buildings, efficiently heat them, run them, etc., while still keeping the blood and the brand of the university and the city alive within those buildings as well.
Working for the University of Nottingham, Ningbo, China, presented us with the challenge that they face, which is to entrepreneurialise the very academic and highly technical focus that the university has. So we worked with them to create an innovation incubator that blends the business school with tech startups so that they can draw on the very best in business practice to entrepreneurialise some of the great ideas that these young geniuses have. And then they can get to engage with the business community from Ningbo and work on how they can commercialise those opportunities for the future. Along with the health and well-being side of sustainability, which we recognise as, in a word, is just too broad, it covers too much, we understand that university estates directors are very concerned about the operating costs and the carbon footprint of their facilities. And I think the future has to be about designing into a specific need. We know that universities have a lot of very complex, difficult spaces designed around their managed spaces, and for that we should apply passive house principles, so super airtight, super well insulated, sealed boxes that have the very best equipment to service them. But then counter to that, we also have to have a whole range of environments that are open and passive, have great daylight, fantastic natural wind flow and airflow. It's actually more complex to model in some respects from an architectural perspective, but they're the environments that we can really make great savings from a carbon perspective on. But we also need to get those sealed boxes working very hard so that any renewable technologies or something that we apply afterwards can be almost carbon positive, adding energy back into the grid.